Hello my lovely goblins, it is me, Drea D, and today I'm going to show you my strange and unusual sketching process. I'm going to use this commission to show you from blank page to finished product. I've been waiting to do a Harley Quinn, and for some reason this is the first person that's asked me for one. I've closed personal commissions since I took this on, so the beginning of July is when I'll be done with the commissions and I'll be able to start on that long illustration list that I've been waiting to do. The request for this one was Harley Quinn with the girly side of her, but also feminist and powerful, which is cool. This gal, who is awesome, wanted me to include her very cute little dog, you can see there. She liked her outfit from Birds of Prey, which I still need to wash. She gave me a lot of free reign on this one, which is always fun, and I think we ended up changing the background in the end, but you'll be able to see that in the next video. For now, what you're looking at is what I call a layout, and the reason why I call it a layout instead of a sketch is because it just doesn't look like a sketch. It looks like a mishmashed, photoshopped mess. So I call it layouts, and what I always tell my clients is, don't worry, the colors will be better, everything will be better once it's drawn and colored properly. So this is what I'd make to draw over. It's essentially just a weird way of sketching. The reason why I do it this way is because I've always found it tedious to do sketching the traditional way. It's just the way that I like to do it best. I guess I don't really have a great reason for it. I can sketch the traditional way, it's just that I just don't enjoy it very much. It's easier for me to see things if I start with a block of color and then sculpt it out from there. And I think you'll see watching the video how you're going to start with a thing and then turn it into a totally different thing. So let's just get started. First, you'll see my giant page of references. Everything I pulled from the internet, everything the client gave me, so that's what I'm blinking back and forth in between. I wanted to find a pose for her that was less sexualized, because that's been Harley Quinn's thing forever. And we wanted a feminist version, but still really girly, which is a fine line to walk. So I wanted to find a pose that was confident and sexy. It's hard to do. So I found this pose that I remember I had used before, this cool, confident standing pose. And that's why I'm blinking back and forth between this earlier Pokemon commission and this thing that I found on Pinterest. So this is me thinking, I really like the way she's standing. So let's start with that, just the stance. And I'm going to give her some shorts because I'm thinking roller derby was really cool in the preview of this movie. And that to me says, you know, strong, independent, violent lady. So I'm gonna do her roller skates like I see in the poster. Coming up with this stuff is always easier when I know the character really well, like Disney characters, things like that. Harley Quinn, I know her character as the Joker's slave. Like I don't really know her Birds of Prey independent Harley character because I haven't seen the movie yet, so I am kind of going based off of previews that I watched and clips on YouTube. I like to do as much research as I can before I do a character. So now you'll see me thinking, okay, she mentioned that she liked this outfit that she's wearing, so we're gonna do this Birds of Prey outfit here up on top. We've got the skates, we've got the caution tape and the knee pads. She's wearing fishnets. And then I'm thinking, oh crap, she's got all these tattoos. So let's see if we can get these roughly in the right place where they're supposed to go, under those fishnets. This open arm thing, come and get me kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing now. And then she's got these big old sleeves, so I'm just sketching those out with some blocks of color just to kind of see how this goes. Looking at the arm underneath it, I'm thinking, oh, here's this Elsa hand. That's the kind of hand I'm thinking. Let's just see how that works out. And she looks confused. So I feel confused. It's at this point that I'm like, this isn't working. Let me try something else. I need a better position for her torso. So I find this better position torso just to start from, just to have something for my brain to work with. You'll see how much it changes here. She's got the shorts on, and now we're gonna change her top, change the silhouette a bit, change the arms. I still like that arm out pose, but maybe with her looking less confused and shruggy. I'm using a blur tool for the sculpting, by the way, and I can do other tutorials too about the specific tools that I like to use. When I'm doing layouts, I use the blur tool, and then I'm going back and forth between my pen to do the little sketchies that you're seeing happening. So I did some detail like the stripies on her shorts and the little white threads, a little blinking back and forth from the podcast I'm listening to. So here's the new hand, the Mother Gothel hand that I dropped in there. Now this is looking a little more human, and I added her suspenders. Then I realized, oh Lord, she's got another tattoo on her chest. Okay, add that in. I sketched a little necklace in to match what she's wearing, and now this is me going, okay, what is this woman wearing? I'm looking at her outfit. Okay, they're like suspenders attached to her shorts, so let's make them look more like suspenders, and this is me drawing her clear jacket. That I just kind of sketched over her body real quick, like where the fabric would fall, but it is see-through, so I left it clear. And I just sketched what I felt like the sleeves would look like. Now I'm kind of messing with them to get the bulk of the sleeves, giant, messy sleeves, and they're a really big part of that outfit, so I want to make sure to get those looking right, so I can draw over them later at least. I want the shape to be right more than the color, but I want to get some color in there just to make sure it doesn't look super bad. Now I'm thinking, okay, this mallet is really cool. I've always loved the mallet. Let's pull this mallet, but we're going to make it more appropriate for a drawing, you know, make the mallet bigger, make her hand look a little nicer. Oh yeah, her expression. This is an expression that I love so much, and I found it on Pinterest. What a fabulous expression that is, and I've been wanting to use it for ages. So I'm thinking, okay, let's play with this and just see what happens. Got both her eyes open, change the eyelids a little bit, make her look more like not amused with your shit. Changing her nose up a little bit. The client really liked the Margot Robbie version of Harley Quinn, so we're trying to make her look like Margot Robbie a little bit more. The smile, of course, because she's a smiley character. Then I found this sketch. This looks so much like Margot Robbie. Let me see if I can emulate this a little more. I went through this a bunch of different ways before I was like, I'm not feeling it. So let me start from here and see if this turns into anything good. And I liked this one. Changed her eyes again a little bit, changed her mouth, make it more smiley. But it's got that confident, unamused look that I was hoping for. So now I'm going to sketch out her hair. I'm blinking back and forth to remember what her hair looks like. So she's got these long front bangs, and she's got it pulled back into pigtails. So I'm going to do the front bangs and make it look like it's pulled back a little bit, and then add some curlies because those are the most fun. Okay, this looks like a good shape to start with the first pigtail, and then I'm gonna, as you can see, change it up quite a bit, starting with a shape and then sculpting it out to make it look like a shape that I like. Coloring in her hair just to get a sense of, does this look cohesive? Do the second one and change the shape up a little bit because you don't want two identical pigtails. That would be weird. Then I was like, her face shape is a little bit round for Margot Robbie, so I thinned out her neck. I changed the choker to look a little more shapely, a little more dynamic. Oh, do the red lips because those are fun. Now she's looking much better. I look at the whole thing all over again and think, oh, her hips look weird and out of proportion. So that's what I'm fixing now, is her overall shape to make sure the silhouette is what I want. Another artist that I really like says it's all about silhouette. I always try and think about that. Her hands seemed a little big, so I made it a little smaller. Make her where I want her on the page and add a little dog. Taking examples, there's her little adorable puppy, little King Charles. So I'm thinking, here's a confident stance for a dog that I like. I'm going to change it up a little bit. So I want to make sure it looks like a King Charles, but also a little bit cartoony, because that's just how I like to draw things. I don't want to make them overly realistic because I think that's a little less fun. So now we have a freaky looking King Charles head on a cartoon body. And I don't know why this occurred to me halfway through, but I was like, oh, the dog should be holding a bat. Draw her little lips, make her eyes look a little more like she's looking upward. Putting the tail over the bat was kind of a last minute choice, so I'm kind of moving those things around to get them right about where I want them, adjusting things a little bit. Well, we've got to add the collar with a Q on it to make a little Easter egg. Dog's name is Quinn, so I was thinking leopard print because the picture she sent me of the dog had a leopard print blanket. And we're going to do a fun pink leopard print for the leash and the collar, so this is me just sketching the leash here. And this is 4 to 6 hours of sketching and drawing and mismatching and failing. Squashed down into like 12 minutes. Pretty satisfying to watch. It's like, look how confident I am. Not true. If you like strung this out into 6 hours, you'd want to kill yourself. Nobody would watch that. Oh yeah, so then the background. She didn't really know what she wanted. I didn't really know either, to be honest. So I pulled a couple of images from Google and I was just like, well, what if we went with just like a color situation, like a really bright, spacey thing maybe? Well, this looks really cool. Let's give this a shot and see what she thinks, and then if she likes this background, then I will draw something like that for the final version. The reason why I didn't put too much work into doing the background is with commissions. If you put all this detailed drawing work into a background and then they say, oh, I really imagined her in a warehouse, or if you draw a warehouse and then they're like, what if we just did like a blue color? And then you're like, F me, I just spent 4 hours drawing a warehouse. So let's just see how this flies. And then if she likes something like this, then I'll draw something like this. And then if she says she hates it, I only wasted 5 seconds. So that's why I did this particular one this way. And it's a good thing I did, because in this case, it turns out she is not a fan of space. So we went with a different background in the end, which I will show you in the next video. I'm thinking, well, we're kind of in space, so let's make this a little more floaty. I was liking how her hair was floating, but everything else looked kind of stiff. So, well, the dog's ears have to be flowy now too, so I'm changing the ears, sketching out more flowy ears. This looks pretty fun, actiony, girly, confident in both the dog and the lady, so this is a lot of fun. So that's pretty much what I do. I know it's very weird and it's unorthodox. The point is to not trace things from the internet. The point is to start somewhere and end up somewhere totally different. It's just a way that helps me make things. So I hope that it made sense and that maybe it would help someone out there that would like a different way to do things sometimes, or try something new that's not just traditional animation style sketching, starting with a blank page all the time. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, and I will film me finishing out this lovely Harley Quinn. You can see the full thing start to finish. Thank you so much for making it this far. I will talk to you guys later, and stay spooky till then.